week 8 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few big men at the center position that you could get off waivers and that could help your ball club here this week. The first guy's Alex Len, the Washington Wizards. So Len, he signed with the Wizards a few weeks ago. He didn't get much playing time in Toronto, but now with Washington, he's been playing decent. The only thing with him, sometimes game script hasn't gone in his favor. On the season, he's ranked 282 is Len with 5 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, 1.1 assists, 65% from the foul line, 57% from the field. But over the last week now, he's ranked number 86 is Len, 8 points a game, 3.8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.8 blocks, 60% from the field. And we'll dig deeper into the numbers. February 3rd, when he got a bigger role, 27 minutes of play, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 75% from the field. February 5th at Miami, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a whopping 5 blocks, 58% from the field. And then yesterday at Charlotte, he did get the starting nod over Robin Lopez, but he only played 8 minutes. He was in foul trouble, and the way the game went, they lost the ball game by 22 points. Was the Wizards. 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and a block. But right now, Len, I would still go out there and get him in fantasy leagues. He's available in 90% of fantasy leagues. We know Thomas Bryant, he's going to be out for the season right now for this team. So he's a guy, Alex Len, that he's going to get opportunities. I know yesterday he only played 8 minutes, but I think he'll get more minutes as the season goes on and he learns the playbook. And Robin Lopez, I don't think he's a factor really cutting into Len's time because he's already over him in the starting lineup when he's only been on the team a few weeks. So he's the first center I would go out there and try to get. The second guy's Kelly Olynyk of the Miami Heat. Olynyk, he was a guy I said to drop a few weeks ago, but now he's back in the rotation as well as Olynyk on the season. And on the year, he's 109 ranked, 10.2 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 2.2 threes a game, 78% from the foul line, and 42% from the field. But in the last week now, 66 ranked in that time, Olynyk. He's stepping it up, 12.8 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, hitting 3 threes a game, 48% from the field. And the last 3-4 games, he's really picked it up. February 3rd versus Washington, 8 points, 11 rebounds, a steal, a block, 2 threes. Then at versus Washington again, 17-7, an assist and 5 threes, 6 of 8 from the field. Then at the Knicks in yesterday's afternoon's ball game, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal for Olynyk, 46% from the field. So Kelly Olynyk, he's hitting the 3 ball. He's rebounding pretty decent. And right now he's playing 20-25 minutes a game. And that's all he really needs, a guy to come off the bench for Miami, hit a few threes, rebound. And he's a player that definitely should be owned in 10-team leagues or deeper in fantasy leagues. He's getting the playing time, and he's a pretty good player. Is Olynyk. The next center I would try to get is Ivica Zubac of the Los Angeles Clippers. Zubac, he's finally having some breakout performances over the last few weeks. On the season, he's ranked 124 with 8 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 1 assist, 67% from the field, and a pretty good 86% from the foul line. But over the last week now, he's ranked number 68, 9.5 points a game, 9.8 rebounds, a block a game, 65% from the field. And the last 3 games he's really come onto the scene is Zubac. 10 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks, that is, 2 steals, an assist, 37% from the field. This was at Cleveland, February 3rd. February 5th versus Boston, 14 points, 6 rebounds, a block. And then last night versus Sacramento in a bad loss, 12 points, 14 boards, an assist for Zubac, and 66% from the field. So Zubac, his playing time's going up. He's producing good double-double numbers. And if you need a big man in your leagues that's going to get a couple points, a decent amount of rebounds, and a few blocks, Zubac's the guy for you. And he's available in 65% of fantasy leagues. Owners, they're starting to go out there and get him right now. And if he's on your wire, 10-team leagues or deeper, Zubac, he's definitely worth the ad. He's getting the playing time. And obviously the Clippers, they're up on him, and they're high on what he could do on the court. Next center I would look to add this week's Frank Kaminsky The Phoenix Suns, yeah, Frank Kaminsky sighting here on the waiver wire. First time this season. Kaminsky on the season, 6.5 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, 62% from the foul line, 47% from the field. So he's 256 ranked on the year, but the last week he's ranked 100th overall. 10.3 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, an assist and a half a game, 1.3 threes a game, 80% from the foul line, 61% from the field. So Kaminsky, the playing time's been going up the last few games for him. February 1st, 15 minutes he played, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists at Dallas, and a 3. Then 17 minutes at New Orleans, February 3rd, 6 points, 7 boards, an assist. Then versus Detroit, February 5th, this was his biggest game. 22 minutes of play, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and assist. And then versus Boston last night, 4 or 6 from the field, 9 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, and only 19 minutes of work. So Kaminsky, he's coming off the bench, instant offense, and he's rebounding the basketball pretty well. And he's a guy who could hit three-pointers, as we know, since his college days. And he's available in 96% of fantasy leagues. So he's more of an ad in deeper leagues, 14-team leagues or deeper. I believe Kaminsky's worth the ad. In 12-team leagues right now, I think you take a wait-and-see approach, and hopefully Kaminsky could get things going even more. And it's not just a fluky stretch for him, but we know he's a stretch 5. He's going to get a few rebounds. He's going to hit threes. And owners who are looking for those categories and those points in points leagues, he's a guy that you could go out there and get. And like I said, he's available in almost every league in 96% in the 5th and final center. I would look to add this week's a guy who's been on the list a few times this season, but he's not going away, it seems like, is Naz Reid of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We know Karl Anthony Towns, he's been dealing with the COVID issue now for 3 weeks, and Reid, he's been filling in, and he's been having some good games on the season. He's ranked number 81 in fantasy basketball, 12.5 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, 1.2 assists. He's even giving you 1.1 threes a game, 74% from the foul line, and 53% from the field. And in the last week, those numbers have bumped up even more for him. 16.5 points a game he's averaging, 7.3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 1.3 threes a game, 62% from the foul line, and 54% from the field. And his last 2 games, he's really went off, is Naz Reid. At OKC, February 5th, 17 points, 9 rebounds, an assist and a block, 66% from the field. And then at OKC, once again, February 6th, 2 nights ago, a huge game, a career-high 29 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, a 3, 57% from the field. So Naz Reid, we saw him last season at the end of the year when Karl Anthony Towns was done for the year, have some big games. And once again, we're seeing it here, him filling in for Towns now the last 3 weeks. And even if Towns comes back any day now, which he's supposed to, I think Reid's a guy you hold on to and see what he could do. Maybe they could play both these guys as bigs, because Towns, he obviously could stretch the floor. And Reid also, he's stretching the floor with his three-point shooting ability. So Naz Reid, he's out there still in a whopping 59% of fantasy leagues, which is pretty odd to me. Like I said, I know Towns is coming back, but this guy, he's definitely a good center. He gets rebounds. He could score the basketball. He could shoot as well. And he should be owned in more leagues, which I've been saying for weeks. So that's a few centers I would look to add on waivers here in Week 8 of the fantasy basketball season.